my name is Dean Contover, and this is The Current Buzz. Thank you for watching today. Today we have a gentleman, Don Shore. He's the owner of Chelmsford Garage Doors. And if you have a piece of paper and pencil, maybe you can write down some information that we can glean from garage doors. Most people have garage doors, and they do call you. And we're going to talk about fraud of some companies who say they're garage door, but they're not garage door. So be careful. If you go to the website, right, make sure it's the official garage door, Chelmsford Garage Door. Thanks for coming on.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
Yeah. In regards to your pencil and paper, here's the number for Chelmsford Garage Door, because we're going to talk about garage doors. It's 978-256-7039. So thanks for coming on. And garage doors, people probably wonder, what should I do in regards to my garage doors? But what I want to ask you this question, I've been thinking about it. If you build a garage, you have a door on the side of the garage so you can enter and exit.
Correct.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Why? What's the reason?
A lot of people like second entrances to their garage.
Okay.
Because it puts less wear and tear on their garage doors, obviously.
Okay, good point.
Because, they're only rated for so many cycles up and down. And if you're using your garage door as your main entrance, it's putting more wear and tear on things, springs, your cables, things like that, your rollers and everything.
Now, I noticed that a lot of people enter their home through the garage door. Do you suggest that they do that or not do that? Like you said, wear and tear on the garage door, the up and down of the garage door, the kids coming and going. Right. All the time, and that puts stress on the garage door. If it's a small door, less cycles. If it's a big door, two-car garage.
Torsion springs versus extension springs. Torsion springs, you'll get more cycles out of it, up and down. Extension springs, on average for a small door, a 9x7 or something like that, you can expect the springs to last anywhere from 7 to 10 years.
Okay.
But if they're getting more usage, which most people use their garage as an entranceway to their house, right, you're going to get less usage out of it. Your springs might get 3 or 4 years. And people, I'll go into a garage and they'll say, my springs, I just had them replaced like 3 years ago.
Right.
Well, how often do you use your garage?
Good point.
We use it all the time. It's our main entrance to the house.
Right.
Well, that's when you're going to have things breaking more.
Yeah, remember, springs do get sprung, and look at your springs. Go out in the garage door after the show and check your springs, check your cables, make sure they're doing. If you hear any squeaks or one side being pulled, it's a spring that's off, and you have to call somebody to repair it. Am I correct?
Correct. That's correct.
Why should we have garages in New England?
Obviously, because of the weather. I mean,
all right,
you get rain, snow, sleet and everything.
Right. What's it do? Why have a garage in your home?
Well,
if you buy a home, why should you have a garage?
Well, it's a place you can keep your car, so you don't have to get out into the rain and stuff.
Or your snowblower.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It'll conserve the life of your car.
That's right.
Basically.
Right. Yeah, from sun too.
Right.
During the summertime, it should be garage in regards to protecting the paint on the car, etc.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So garage doors are very important, right? I mean, how do you start the business? Let's get into that.
It's funny. I was in the high-tech business for 17 years, and my brother-in-law, who lived out in Stowe at the time, said he's decided he's going to start his own business, and he decided he's going to do garage doors.
Okay.
So he asked me if I'd help him, and I said, sure. I can work nights and weekends with you until you get up and running, and that's what I did. And he always used to say to me, you should start your own business out that way. There's nobody out there. You're pretty good at it. You should think about it. And I thought, I'm okay. I'm happy with my desk job right now. And one thing led to another. My company was sold, and I said, maybe I should look at starting something, and slowly did it nights and weekends, and finally I come home to my wife and said, I quit my job, I'm starting a door business, and she said, you can't. She said, I'm pregnant with my third child, and I said, well, I already did it, so I'm going in at full bore, and I've been doing it ever since, 21 years.
21 years, huh?
Yeah.
Wow, that's good for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about fraud. Okay, I mentioned that a little earlier in regards to people using your name. So explain that. I know that it was on Channel 7. They did an investigation and talked to you.
Right. Channel 7 helped me, Hank. We were on. They did a big thing on it. They really didn't explain what was going on. Okay. But you know, basically what's happening is this person has set up these websites similar to ours. He does Chelmsford Garage Door Handyman, Chelmsford Garage Door Repairman, Chelmsford Garage Door Mass. And if you look at the websites and look at the addresses as to where they're at, it's a satellite site, what they call them. And you go to that address, it's either an open field or it's an apartment complex, or
it's a bogus
address. It really is.
Right.
And then what they're doing is you call up that number thinking it's us, and they're saying, well, I sub out work to them, or they say that I've sold to them, or they say that I'm not in the office, or my wife Teresa, who runs my office, is not in, and we can help you. And my customers are asking, is it Chelmsford Garage Door? And they say, yes, it is. And you look at their website, they got these vans, and it's just doctored up stuff that say Chelmsford Garage Door on it, and they're not us. They're coming out to people's houses in unmarked vehicles or rental trucks and claiming to be us, doing work supposedly, and they're charging people outrageous amounts of money.
Cash?
Cash or check. And they're not doing the work. And when the people write out the checks, they're making it out to some other name. Right there should be a red flag.
Right.
And then a week or two later, the door's broken again, and they're calling the number back and not getting an answer. So they move down to the next garage, Chelmsford Garage Door, and they get us, and they say, hey, you guys were just out here working on my door, and it's broken again.
Wow.
And we'll go through our records, and we have nothing. So my wife's kind of wondering what's going on here.
Right.
And she calls the number. And they say, oh, this is Chelmsford Garage Door. Oh, wait a minute, you're not Chelmsford Garage Door, because we're Chelmsford Garage Door.
Right. So they must be doing it in every community in the United States.
They are. They're doing it. They're doing it in Chelmsford, Carlisle, Concord, Acton, Westford, Lowell.
Wow.
And they've even started to branch out now to other companies with different names. And they're saying, if it's like Sally's Garage Door, they do Sal's Garage Door. And
I mean, I heard this also in regards to locksmiths having the same problem. I'm sure a lot of small companies have this problem.
They are.
Have you reported to Chelmsford Police? Do they know about it?
Chelmsford Police is aware of it. They've done a couple of stings on them and told them to knock it off. The first guy was an illegal alien. They were going to supposedly take him to court or deport him or whatever, and he disappeared.
Right.
The next time they did a sting combined with Concord Police, because Concord had a couple of customers out there that did the same thing too.
Right.
Checked out the papers. They told the guys, look, knock it off. We know what you're doing. Stop doing it. They take their website down for a month and a half, and then right back up again.
Oh, no kidding.
We've been in contact with the Attorney General's office and everything, and
It's frustrating, I could tell.
it's very frustrating. And I can't believe that there's nothing that anybody can do because it's downright fraud. If you're claiming to be
That's
somebody
correct.
else that you're
and you're
not,
not incorporated with the state or anything like that, or paying taxes to the state.
correct. They're not. And we're incorporated.
Yeah, exactly. And you're paying your taxes and everything, and that you have to pay. And these guys come fly. I heard the locksmith told me that people come up from New York and start ripping out locks and stuff in regards to their homes. So when you go online, look for the official website.
That's
Chelmsford Garage Door official website. It says that, right?
Yes, it does. It does.
So, or anything, even a locksmith. Just don't go to the first site. Just go through 'em and check them out. Make
Check
sure
'em all
they're
out.
legit. That's why, we put on the telephone number for you, and we put the website on for you so you'll know. So write that down, for you, and get that taken care of. You may not need them now, but you probably need them later. And
Eventually you will.
Yeah, you will. It'll come, and then they'll have a record of you, right?
Right.
So you put it on the computer and everything, so you know that address and so
Yeah.
forth. Let me ask you a question. Do you go around the neighborhood and look at garage doors? Is that because I do that too?
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely. I mean, I'm in the business, so that's what I look at.
Yeah.
Look at people's garages and see what type of doors they got and what styles and everything like that.
Wood is out now, right?
It's gone away,
It's gone away.
except for the expensive carriage house doors.
like
and-
the mahogany or
mahogany, cedar,
that
doors
holds
like
up
that.
in weather. And
It'll hold up longer than a standard wood door,
Right.
but you're going to pay for that cost, and then there's a cost of maintenance to keep them up.
right.
But
To paint them and so forth, or
Right.
the wood doors and everything.
Yeah.
The old wood doors you have to paint over and over again. The metal doors, all you have to do is take your
garden hose, hose it
and wash
down.
it. That's what I was thinking. Thank you. Take your garden hose, hose it down, and that's it.
Right,
You know?
they're low maintenance doors nowadays.
They're low maintenance. Okay, let's talk about a new door. Go out and look at your doors, look at your springs, see if it's going down all the way, right? Evenly.
The other thing-
and make sure the gasket is good, right?
Right.
And the door is flush, that the little animals won't get in the door and
Correct.
get into the house, especially if you use it. What's the percentage of people that use their garage doors to go through the house?
I'd say 90%
You're
of
kidding me.
people use their garage as their main entrance.
Wow.
It's for the kids going in and out.
Yeah, to play.
Especially where they have the keypads you can put on the outside of the door.
Right.
Where you enter a code and you can open and
Yeah,
close
right.
it, which is good for kids because then you don't have to worry about them having keys and losing keys
good
and
point, good point.
stuff like that.
Right. Let's say the new pads now come out with at nighttime. They show up red.
Yes, they
Yeah.
have a light on them that they light up and everything.
Yeah, I mean that's a pretty good deal because your night vision is not screwed up by the ones that have light,
Right, right.
and they're easy. Am I right?
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
Yep.
Now they have new LiftMaster's a company, right?
Yes.
That has the machine that's on top.
The motor.
How long or lower? Yeah, that raises the upper door. Well, what's the longevity of that?
I usually tell my customers if you get 10 years out of one, you've done good.
Oh, okay.
Some people get 20 years, some
Yeah.
people get, 7 or 8 years. It all depends.
I have about 20 years on mine.
Right.
But the new ones, right, are easier to program to the pad. Is that my understanding?
They are,
Yeah.
because they're not wired in nowadays.
Oh, they're not wired in.
No, everything is
Wi-Fi?
Wi-Fi, yeah.
I
Yep,
see.
Yep.
So if everything is Wi-Fi, I can use my phone wherever I am in the world. If somebody
Opens your door.
opens your door, you know that it's open, and then you can close it.
Correct. And the other nice thing is if you're having packages delivered,
Okay.
you can open up your phone when the delivery man's there and he calls you, say, hey, I'm at your house. Where do you want me to put the packages? I'll open my garage for you, and you can stick it in the garage. Then you don't have to worry about packages being
Oh,
stolen.
good point.
Which is a good thing.
Right.
So you can hook them right up to your phone.
So you could be on the beach in the Virgin Islands and open your garage door and let the family in, and then when they leave, you could close it.
Absolutely.
Wow, that's interesting. I might have to talk to you later.
There you go. There you go.
So, so LiftMaster. Most garage doors are what? 4 panels? Is that 4 metal panels usually?
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct. For a 7-foot high. If you go 8 foot high, you're usually running 5 panels.
Oh, okay.
They have the new carriage house doors. Amar has a carriage house door that's actually 3 panels.
Oh,
now,
okay.
For a 7-foot and an 8-foot high.
Okay.
So.
I noticed lately people are putting windows up in the higher panel when they put their, because I see the old wooden doors where they had a sort of street level or whatever you could look in the garage.
Yeah.
What's the reason for that now that people are putting their...
Putting them up top is kind of for privacy.
Okay.
You know, it's harder to look into your garage to see if anybody's home or what's in your garage.
Yeah, exactly, right.
And it does let more light in, I think.
I see.
Also being up top.
Right. And there's different designs, and we won't even get into that. I mean, it's just...
There's many.
You could go on the website, you know, garage doors,
Yep.
and they have different... and you could order your own...
you can do a build-a-door. You can take a picture of your house and build a door that you like and see how it looks on you.
Oh, is that right?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They
no
have,
kidding,
have it all now.
Wow, that's interesting. So the bad thing about it, you have to clean the windows every once in a while.
Yeah, that's a downfall.
Yeah, that's a downfall. But if you're going to get garage doors, put the windows up on the top panel because it has privacy. And if the car's not in there, it lights up the garage and you can do things without the neighbors knowing what you're doing.
Right.
I remember I was up in New Hampshire one time. The guy had his garage door and the phone rang, and he had the phone right next to the garage door. That was before cell phones, but I mean, I thought that was pretty cool.
I still see it every now and then.
Oh, do you?
Oh, yeah.
Phone in the garage?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he just went in, stepped a couple of feet in, took the phone off and started talking to the person. He was out in the yard.
Yeah.
I thought that was a pretty good, clever thing, you know. So let's talk the nuts and bolts. If the door is wobbly, if it jerks, if it's broken, or if the springs, how do you know these things?
Usually what I look for when I go into a job site is, you know, I take a look at the cables, see if they're frayed anywhere or anything like that. The springs, when the door is up, there's no tension on the springs, or very little tension on the springs.
Right.
I look to see if there's spacing between the coils. If there's spacing in there, that usually means your spring is ready to break. If you put the door up and your springs the coils are together, chances are they're okay.
Right.
Not that they can't break, because you know some of the steel is strong, but they get brittle especially in the winter time, and they'll just snap.
Yeah. They have new rollers now. I notice it's much quieter. So if you have an old door with the metal rollers and they're squeaking and so forth, they have these new rollers that are plastic and they're much quieter.
Yeah, the new nylon rollers are super quiet compared to the older ones. Yeah.
So if you have it, especially if you have a bedroom over the garage, you should get these new rollers put in.
Yeah.
Because
makes a big difference.
Makes a big difference, right?
Sure.
Especially with LiftMaster type units, you know, stay with the chain and stay with the
belt drive. Belt and chain, they're the
Don't
quietest.
go with the screw.
Yes, I find the screw drives tend to be a little bit noisy.
Right, okay. So I'm with Don Shore, if you just tuned in, owner of Chelmsford Garage Doors. He goes all over, 24-hour service. He goes all over town, right? I mean, you go up and down the Merrimack Valley.
I'm in Needham, I'm in Rye, New Hampshire, I'm all over the place.
So, you know, if somebody has a problem, make sure they call you at 978-256-7039. and you'll come out and give them a free estimate.
Yeah, we do free
if you
estimates.
needed new doors and so on. Most people need new doors, from what I've seen, because
There's
I knew
quite
you
a
were
few.
coming. When I saw you coming in, I was looking at, I knew that you were going to come. For the last couple of weeks, I've been looking at
Drive
garage
around.
doors, and looking at garage, not just driving around, just going to a place. Wow, that needs a new door and
Yeah.
so forth. And then what bothers me is the windows that are lower,
Low.
where you can look in and see if the car's there, or you can look in the garage
Yeah.
and see what's in there, or and so forth.
Yeah.
So I mean, so. What's the difference between home and business garage? You do business also?
I do a little bit.
Okay.
Businesses tend to go with a lot larger doors.
Okay, that's correct.
And you need heavy equipment to handle those. So I gear most of my business towards residents. The big doors, you need a hydraulic lift to put those in.
Oh, I
You
see.
need welders and
Oh,
stuff
okay.
like that.
I see.
So a commercial application is totally different.
I see, yeah. Yeah, they're real big. I mean, garage doors and that type of thing.
oh, yeah.
Big garages for trucks and
24
stuff.
by 20 foot high doors, and
There was a new house built on Davis Road and North Road.
Yeah,
That
I did
one- you
doors
did that.
there.
I saw your truck out there. Yeah, those doors look nice. Do they tell you what type of door to put in, or?
yeah, they select the doors.
They select the door.
Yeah, usually when I come
new
out to a new house or when I'm meeting with my builders, I have brochures that I give them, and they can go through and pick out whatever style door they want.
Okay.
I go through all the different types of doors, the type of insulation,
And color.
and colors, and window options, whether they want a plain raised panel door versus the carriage doors, which look like they open up like
Yeah,
this,
yeah.
but they really don't.
Right.
So there's a wide. There are so many different types and styles of doors nowadays. It's ridiculous.
So the big thing is insulation. Did we talk about insulation?
No, he didn't.
No. Okay, let's talk about insulation because we don't have that much time left. Usually, when you bring a new door, it's an inch
Inch
wide.
and 3/8
and
wide
3
is the average
and that's
door.
insulation between the door and the back panel into the garage.
Yes.
So your suggestion, because basically, if you're going to use a door 90% of the time to go into the house, you want that door insulated to protect the car and
Right.
and the home.
Yeah,
So-
absolutely. There's
And
different.
there's R type insulation.
Yes,
right?
it's an R value.
R value.
I have doors that go from R 6.48 all the way up to an R 19.48. So there's a wide variety.
And most people get what?
Now, most people take the lower to mid-range,
Right.
which is like an R 6.48 to an R 11 or 12.
Right.
Because it is a garage, your door's open, you close it, it takes a while to gain your heat back up there. But there's polystyrene insulation, which only goes up to R9. Polyurethane goes from R11 to an R19.48.
Okay.
So it all depends on what you're looking for. The polyurethane doors are injected in
Oh, wow.
to a door.
All right.
And
Now, do they come when you order them? Do they come with that R value on the door?
yes, they do.
Oh, they do.
They do.
Okay.
All of my doors have a brochure that gives the R value on it and the warranties and everything on them.
Yeah. Thank you for coming on the show.
Well,
I
thank you for
appreciate
having
it.
me. I appreciate
No
it.
problem.